Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the final season 3 of Love, Victor, which has been a Hulu series which surprisingly just got dropped on Disney Plus with its last season, and now all of them are on Disney Plus. I guess they're like, now that we have parental lock, might as well put this on here. And that, I guess that works in terms of like because like I know there's a lot of controversy with why this got shifted from Disney Plus to over to like Hulu, but there is a lot of sexual content and stuff like that, and cursing and stuff like that, and I guess they're like, well, that's not kid friendly. But neither here nor there. It's on Hulu and Disney Plus now, so you can watch the whole entire series. But this last season finds Victor, and his relationship with Benji is rocky. He has his friendship that he's developing with Raheem, and everybody in the show has their own storylines going on here. And I guess just to run things down, last season you have Victor kind of telling Simon, you've been so important to me, but I don't really need your advice anymore. And it's just like, ooh, cold. Like, you know, and it's interesting, that dynamic. But this season comes completely out of the shadow of Love, Simon, and there's no connection there anymore. And I think for its final season, I think that was a good idea. And then the end of last season, you're waiting to see, did Victor go see Raheem or Benji? Of course he wanted to go see Benji. And of course, on and off, he wants Benji. He never gets over Benji. Even though he has Raheem as a possibility there, he starts dating this other guy who they connect because they find a new church, and he's another gay kid at this church. And on and off, it's like he really likes Victor. He wants to give up his like sleeping around days for Victor. And, you know, will Victor ever get the hell over Benji? And that's like the biggest thing in this season. And Benji goes away to rehab, and Benji's father is now totally against Victor. And you have this on and off again. And on some level, I'm like, for me personally, at that point, I was like, just, you should be with Raheem. He's going to treat you better, and he's great. And I'm glad that Raheem stays as like a main fixture of this season and gets his own stories and stuff like that, dealing with like his uncle who doesn't know he's gay, and him getting his own relationship, and him and Victor trying to put their relationship back together. And, you know, Raheem winds up tutoring Benji, which adds all kinds of levels of complication. But on some level, I do wish, like, and how it plays out, I think, is really fitting to the overarching story of Benji and Victor. I'm just like, I was a little over their relationship. But we still have, like, Mia, played by Rachel Hilson, which the whole entire cast is fantastic in this show. I'm just going to put it out there. Everybody does a great job. You know, Mia tries to go find her mom and has this interaction with her, and she's trying to decide if she want to stay here or not, go with her father. And you have Mason Gooding as Andrew. I actually really like him a lot more by the time we get to season 3, and I think he's a really fun character and brings some flair to the show. And you have Felix, played by Anthony Turpel, who finally connects with Pilar, with Victor's sister. And I really like them together, and Isabella Ferreira does a really fine job selling a lot here. And they have their relationship, but of course they have rocky moments. And Lake, Baby Wood's character, finally stands up to her mom and winds up falling in love with Lucy, played by Ava Capri, and I think they have a great dynamic together. And it's the kind of thing where it's just like, will these relationships that seem like they're really the true fit for these two characters really fly off, or do they wind up Felix and Lake back together? And of course we have some drama for Armando and Isabel, the parents, James Martinez and Anna Ortiz, and they have some great moments too of growth, and really seeing them come into their own as allies is a great thing in this show. And, you know, just in general, there's a lot of a lot of elements going in this show. Some of them you care more about than others, but I do think that by this season they all do a fine job of making them at least interesting and engaging and character driven, where it's like, I really loved this last season, and, you know, things fall into place. It feels like a satisfying ending where everybody is where they need to be. And you could argue whether you like certain characters winding up with each other or not. I know I would argue. But I think it's still funny, it's endearing, and has a lot of relatable elements to it. You know, it does lean into some familiar coming-of-age stories and threads and stuff like that. But in the end, I love this show. This was a great follow-up to Love, Simon, and the intersectionality of dealing with like this very Catholic family of Latinx descent that adds layers and complications to the story that I feel like this show respects and really fleshes out and gives a fantastic journey. And by the end, I'm going to miss this show. I really am. But those are my thoughts on Season 3 of Love, Victor. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some TV. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.